What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another video, back with my old pals. How you doing, boys?
Oi, not so much of the old. I'll take the pals, but not the old.
Well, old in spirit, because we've been pals for a long time. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
Good week?
Hey?
Good week?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Just same as every week, really, isn't it? Just go to work, come home, and that's it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Fridays to do this.
Scott?
That's it, mate. Same. It's all good at the minute. Everything busy, work-wise. Not else much going on.
No. I see everyone in the chat. How are we all doing? I've got you a present before we start. Let's get these gifts out of the way because I've got you all one. Look, I've got Ryan one of these.
Thank you, mate.
Which is a Euro 96 one.
Don't chuck it.
Took his out the packet. I've got Grammar.
Stuart Pearce.
A Euro 96 one as well. I've got one for Scott. No, that's not yours. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did Dan get?
Premier League patches. I've got down a tub of Chuppa Chumps.
Chuppa Chumps.
I'm only joking. I've got him.
Very nice, mate. Very nice.
Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
It's to say thank you for all your appreciation over the summer, boys. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, mate.
We clubbed together and we got you in fuck all.
Do you know what? I've just found out I lost £30 in 2 weeks.
What buying them shirts?
Yes, buying them shirts, yeah.
Well done, mate.
That's good going, mate. That's good going.
You're looking well.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone in the chat. Right, what we got on the agenda today, boys?
Well, I think there's only one place to start, really, and there is the old Premier League pay-per-view thing. This should be a laugh.
Yeah, can't. That's what I mean. For a change, we're gonna have to start this on a negative, aren't we? Because that news coming out today that they want to charge £14.
Yeah, I was going to say, hang on, that again. We have to start this show on a negative.
Well, let's be honest. We normally don't start the Friday Night Pint on a negative, but you can't. £14.95 for a game that's not on the Premier, not already on Sky or BT, box office as well. They're just ripping the arse out of fans now, aren't they? Let's be honest.
It's a piss take considering that everyone praised the Sky and Premier League during lockdown when they were showing all the games, and BT Sport as well and Amazon Prime. But yeah, for them to charge £14.95 because what it'll get a bit like like sort of Sky box office with a boxing. Sky subscription holders will start showing the lesser games, and when it comes to the big blockbuster games, they can start charging to watch them.
Exactly.
It's an actual shambles, mate. Honestly.
But this goes back to what we were saying last week about when they gave some games to BT Sport and then they gave games to Amazon Prime and the BBC and things. Well, not so much the BBC, but when we had to pay to watch it, it was meant to drive competition to drive the prices down. And then now they're just making it up as they go along because they're all in cahoots with each other.
Well, let me just say this: it was a, and I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here, to be quite honest with you. It was a vote by the Premier League clubs. 19 of the 20 voted to put these charges in place. Now, the only club that didn't vote to put these charges in place was Leicester City. That was the only one of the 20 clubs that said no, we shouldn't be charging fans for this. Right? Let me just put this into perspective for everybody. At the moment, we've got one of the highest rates of redundancy in the world in this country. We've got so much of this coronavirus has taken so much toll on the economy. It's taken a toll on people's pockets. It's taken a toll on people's mental health, to be quite honest with you. And football is one of the things that I would like to think that contributes to people's mental health, because when we was going to football, it was getting out, it was seeing your friends, it was doing this, it was doing that. We can't do that at the moment, and quite rightly so, we can't do that. The next best thing, because we can't go now and see our friends, we had plans to go and watch games together and everything else. At the moment, it's not advisable whatsoever. So what's the best thing to do for these multi-millionaire fat cats to do? Is to charge everyone $14.95. And you know what I think has been a precedent of this, and this is the God's honest truth, it was at Carabao Cup. I think the Carabao Cup charging £10 for all of that sort of thing was a tester, just to see whether people would stump up their money for this. They know people have stumped up their money for this Carabao Cup. They know people have stumped up money for other things, season tickets, Sky, and they're just thinking, right, let's just carry on as we were. Let's just carry on as we were. We just start milking these fans. Now, put on top that we've all paid something towards our season ticket. I paid option 3, which was £150. I won't see that again till next year. Some people have paid their season tickets up front, thinking that we was going to go back this month. That is not happening. The coronavirus case is going up and up and up. And we always knew this was going to happen when the schools went back, when the pubs went back. You can see 6 mates in your house. You go to the pub, even though it closes at 10 o'clock, they're all fucking slobbering all over each other because they've had too many beers. So we all knew this October deadline for this coronavirus, thinking, oh, it's all going to be gone. It's all going to be gone. It was never going to be gone. So they knew that they wasn't going to get people in, and they would have known that through meetings with government officials and all that, because, you know, you look at all walks of life, you look at all industries, they all had advice before it was publicly announced, because they have to get ready for it, and quite rightly so. Now, they've asked you to fork up your money for your season ticket. Some people have forked it up front. They're not getting their money back. They're getting their money back per game, per pro rota for 30 days afterwards. Now they're offering you an incentive to keep it in club cash, so they want to keep it in there. So what happens to this £15? What happens to this £15 that you're getting charged by Sky? You already pay your season ticket. You already pay your Sky subscription, which is fucking extortionate, if I'm quite honest with you. I don't have Sky. I won't pay for it. I use my mum's Sky. We sort of pitch in together. I will not pay to £50-60 a month to have Sky Sports on my TV. This is ridiculous, and this just screams of people that are just so out of touch with society. And you know what people should do? And I want to start this on this channel now. People should abandon this idea. Do you know what? People should send their fucking season tickets back, demand a refund for it, because it is about time that people stood up to football. And I said this at the beginning of the corona. This is either going to go one of the two ways. This is going to go the way of reclaiming our game, or it's going to come away where they think, yeah, we're going to fuck these over royally when it all gets back. Now, we all knew, I had little hope in my heart that it would be the former, that they would turn around and go, do you know what, it's about time. But it's about time the fans stood up, because they know if you pay for it, then they'll just keep on doing it. They've got no moral guide whatsoever. And I can't stand the fact that there are people going to be starving, and people that are suffering mental health, and people that ain't got work, and people that are going to be having to use food banks and things like this. Why these cunts are on 600, and sorry to use that word, I know someone complained last week, but these people are getting 700, 800,000 pounds a week, and they're still asking us to fund it. They've had enough money out of us in the fucking past. Enough to you know, and if they've fucking chucked it all down the drain, these agents are living the fucking lifestyles of the footballers did 20 years ago. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And how they can keep on coming back with their hat in their hand, putting their hat underneath you and saying, pay more, pay more, pay more. We pay for Sky subscriptions. It's not our fault. This is a worldwide pandemic. We cannot go to the football. It is important. We've enjoyed sitting at home. We've enjoyed doing the watch-alongs and everything else. But to ask every single household to pay £15 to watch a single game of football, week in, week out is a liberty, is a fucking liberty. And I think they should, they need to go back. And if they don't go back, then it's down to every single fan on this fucking, in this country to stand up against it and say, fuck you. You know what? Use the illegal streams. You know what I'd rather do? Use the illegal streams. And if you get caught using the illegal streams, all club together and pay their fucking fines.
They'll probably find a way to block the illegal streams now, wouldn't they? Because they done it with the Carabao Cup. And the thing is, like, when you said about what happens to the 15 quid, what should happen with the 15 quids that get paid to these Premier League clubs is the Premier League clubs then should distribute all that money to the lower leagues. You know?
Absolutely. I'd rather pay. I took my boy to go to non-league football, whether you got an opinion on this or not, but I took him to watch #United. It's £1 to get in for children. It's £5 to get in. They are people that are trying to pay their way into the Football League. And that goes all over the country. That goes for the team that they played, Braintree, that played for the team, Solihull, all of them people before. Take your money, fuck them, Premier League. They don't need any more money pumped into this game. How can they turn around and West Ham being one of the ones that voted for it while they're sitting there on top of all this money after they've just saved over the last 2 years £36 million in wages, after they've just fucking not spent a single penny. We'll talk about transfers from the Championship later. They've just saved, their wage bill just gone under 100 million quid. Where's the TV money? That's what pays for it, because gate money doesn't pay for it. That is just extra on top money. Mm-hmm. They don't need that money. As I said before, we've discussed this many times over. I've discussed it with football finance people. That gate money does not make a fucking difference to Premier League clubs. It just doesn't. And what it does is it opens a revenue for people that aren't season ticket holders. They're not just going to get season ticket holders paying 15 quid. They're going to get other people paying 15 quid. And it's going to be worth more in the long run. Why should they profit? Why should they profit? They shouldn't profit from this, Ryan. I'm sorry, but we pay our subscriptions, we pay our season tickets, and if they fucking can't turn around and say, well, you know, this is unprecedented, we want people to abandon the TV, abandon it. Do not pay a penny.
I know back in the days, do you remember yourself? I know the Premier League used to do this years ago, didn't they, with the Premiership Plus, where you could pay to watch your team, but it's different circumstances now. You know, as you said, there are people losing their jobs. It's tough times for everyone, even people that are still in work. You're always on the verge of thinking, fucking hell, another lockdown and I could get made redundant. So you've got to be very careful these days. But the thing is, with the 15 quid, you know, if Sky really would have thought about it a bit more, and the Premier League and BT, you know, if they'd have come out and said £5. Now, I'm not saying it's right that we have to pay anything, but if they'd have said £5 to watch your team play, I think a lot more people would have probably thought, okay, you know what, £5 not that bad, but $14.95 just to watch, you know, I don't agree with it. And go on, Scott, you have your say.
No, that's the thing. It's
right. That's enough for you, Scott. Move on.
it's where the money's going. You know, if they turned around and said, look, you know, we're gonna start funding the lower leagues, we're gonna help things out, things like that, it's a bit different. But it's just pure greed on their part, because they've got the money there sitting in the Premier League account to help all the lower league sides out. They don't want to. We all know what the big Premier League want. The big Premier League bosses want the little teams to start going under, so they can then start implementing B sides in the lower divisions. That's the aim of the Premier League. They've got the money there to help out every single club, League One, League Two, non-league. They can help them out. There's a big £1 billion plus thing sitting in the Premier League's bank account to help these sides out, to set aside. They don't want that. They want teams like Bury, like Macclesfield, teams like that. They want them to go bust, because they drop out.
Why?
And then
because they're the bread and butter of the football.
They are, but these people that run the Manchester Cities, the Chelseas, they want Chelsea B playing in League Two. They want Man City B playing in League Two. And this is the thing, because it benefits them. They don't care about the lower league sides. We've said before on this channel where the lower league sides are the thing that makes the Premier League. If you don't have them lower league teams, you don't really have a Premier League, because you've got nowhere to send youngsters out on loan. You don't go and pick up these gems. Players that you have in your side as youngster, when it don't work out, go to play in lower league and work their way back up. And the Man City guys come out and said it today or yesterday. You know, well, we invest so much money in a youngster, we then lose him to Germany or to he goes to the La League and we have to buy him back double the money. They don't want that. They want Manchester City B playing in League 2, so all their youngsters can go and play in League 2. So when they're ready, they can just go and pluck them out of that team and put them in the first team. That's all they care about. They could have done at the start of this pandemic, they could have turned around and said, right, we don't think fans will be going to go back till whatever time. For £100 for the season, you can watch your team sitting indoors. I would have paid £100 for a season ticket, a season pass to watch every game on the telly. I would have paid £100 for that comfortably. But to charge £15 almost to watch a game of your team is a joke. You know, it's, you know, especially what they did all the way through it when they spread the games. You had games on the BBC. As much I can't stand the BBC and I don't watch it.
And I think you've got a little bit. I think there was a little bit of respect for the Premier League Sports for doing that, because they knew people was in a tough situation. And let's be honest, when we was all going through it and we didn't have the football and everyone was suffering, when that football come back, even though some people didn't want it to come back, it was like a relief, wasn't it? It was something to take your mind off of what's going on in the world. For even only for 90 minutes, you get to watch your team play football, win, lose or draw, you know, and then you come on here after, have your little moan and whatever, and be happy if we win. And it's just they've let themselves down big time today. It's fucking embarrassing.
It's not that they've let themselves down, Ryan. This everything they do, believe me now, everything they do always congregates towards making untolds of money. Everything they do, it's all planned. The Carabao Cup and all of that. I was in support of the Carabao Cup because the £10 helps the gate money, from what I understand, for the lower league teams. Yeah. So I was, okay. I cannot get behind. I cannot sit there and say to my missus or whatever, under these tough circumstances, I'm paying £15 out of the family account today to watch a game of football when, you know, you don't know whether you're going to be able to buy food next week. And that congregates for a lot of families. I'm afraid that it's just facts the way it is at the minute. How can people do that? And it helps their mental health and everything else. But how can you turn around and ask people to pay that sort of money on top of what they already pay for Sky Sports and all of that sort of thing? Because I don't think you can have Sky without Sky Sports.
You can take.
Sorry, I don't think you can have Sky Sports without a basic package. So you have to pay for a basic package and not and pay for Sky Sports on top of that.
Let me just give you a quick example, right, of my Sky. Like I had when I first signed up for it, I had a set rate. I think it was about £76 a month. No, sorry, £82 a month, and that was for 18 months. But that was the top broadband, all the Sky package, Sky Q, and everything. When you're paying the bills, you forget it. It sneaked up to about £135 a month. And for a couple of months, I didn't realise. And that's probably my own fault. You know, sometimes you just don't check your bank, do you? But, you know, they was happy to charge me that. As soon as I got on the phone to them the other week and said, nah, look, I'm leaving, I got it down to like £66 or something like that. And they upgraded my broadband even more. So it's, you know, as soon as that money went up, they weren't ringing me up saying, oh, look, we've noticed it. Can we put it down? No, they don't care about that. Mr. Sky sitting up in these fucking big mansions, loving it. As soon as I got on the phone and said, look, I'm leaving, they were straight on it, halved it like that. More than that.
My Sky is in my mum and dad's, right? The Sky is in the missus' name. My Sky, I had at my mum and dad's. I left with them, and that went up to like £80 a month. And my mum and dad had the basic Sky package at £80 a month. No phone line, no internet, nothing. And they were charging them. Obviously, because my old man was paying it and never said nothing, I just let it go because they were watching it, not me. So, and again, I've done the same as you. Rung them up and got twice the amount of stuff that they were getting for like knocking off a third of the price.
I can imagine what's all this shit, Scott? I don't want to.
Be fair, that was a lot like what you said. You know, why am I paying this for this? And you know, I've got it down. It's like here I don't want Sky, right? I don't like Sky. I don't watch normal TV, so to speak. I watch everything via the Fire Stick. I'm on Amazon, Netflix, and then I do the illegal stuff because that's what I want to watch. The missus likes being able to flick the telly on, watch something on Sky. That's fair enough. So we got Virgin Internet. So I'm paying Virgin one set of money. I'm paying Sky another set of money. The only thing I want is the Virgin. I have Virgin because their internet's 10 times quicker than what you can get with Sky and BT. So that's why I pay for that. I ain't got a problem paying Virgin for that. I don't like paying Sky for what you have to pay for them, and I refuse to pay for BT because I think BT is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that, as I said, when BT come out, that should have driven prices down. Didn't. Don't mind paying for Amazon. Don't mind watching the football on Amazon because, you know, Amazon, I use the Prime stuff. The stuff that they do for the deliveries is spot on. I don't mind paying for that. And that's a reasonable price. What's that? £80 a year, sorry. You know, you can't complain about that. But, you know, having Sky and having it BT and then having this pay-per-view stuff, said I'll just carry on doing what I'm doing and watch it on all the illegal streams. And for anyone that's got Sky or anything like that,
be careful what you're saying. You're lying.
I don't. What's wrong with watching the illegal streams? They're not going to come and cut my internet off because I'll just set up a different thing and it goes all round. There's ways and means around it. You know,
they're losing the name shot.
Yeah, but you know, that's it.
In a minute, you're going to hear a knock at Scott's door. In a minute, they're going to take him away in a van.
It's not like you're a public figure and they don't know your name.
Listen, that's it. VPN. I couldn't remember what it was. That's all you need.
Just between me and you, mate. Next time you sign up for something, do it in Graham's name.
But that's it. Get a VPN. You're sorted. Look, the boycott Sky, boycott BT, and boycott the BBC even more. I'm going
to boycott Sky Sports movies because they put the same shit on every night. I think Titanic and Love Actually has been on fucking every night this week. A load of shit, honestly. I don't even know why I pay it, Scott, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm with you, mate.
But they are taking advantage of people at the moment with this because they know that people will pay it. There'll be people that will sit there and go, nah, fuck, I ain't paying it. 1 minute to kick off, bang, book it. And because they know that us football fans, we love watching our team, whether we're at the game or at home. And if you've got an opportunity to watch every game at home for 15 quid a time, you think about it, a match ticket would set you back, 60 quid, the whole day out, probably 100 quid, depending on what you do. So some people will probably think, all right, 15 quid ain't that much, but it's the point of it, it's the principle. When you've got football teams, lower league clubs going to be going out. They said, I was listening to TalkSport yesterday, and they reckon within the next 6 months, if things carry on as they are, there could be up to 25 football league clubs go bust. That's like a whole league. That's like a whole league going out of, you know, and it's scary to think.
How can you sit there and watch teams going bust? This is the morality of football, and this is where I think this is where fans have got to start to sort of fans of bigger clubs like us need to start sort of fronting up. How can you have a club going out of business over 100 grand when you've got a player earning 600 grand a week?
Because the Premier League doesn't care about anything below it. That's the problem.
But if we stop pumping money into the Premier League and we give the reason as that, because you can't have, like, this is the thing about the Premier League. This is the thing about football. Prices are going up. They're trying to price people out of the game, and this is it. How can you have someone, you know, coming towards you with their cap in hand, trying to get money off of you when you know they're fucking multi-millionaires, billionaires, most of them. You know what I mean? How can you? And this is the thing. This is not the first moral case. Do you know what? Over the last couple of months, before all the season ticket bollocks, West Ham acted quite well. But you look at teams like fucking Arsenal, who can't afford to keep their mascot on, who made their mascot redundant, and 60 of their staff redundant, yet they're going to pay £50 million for Party the next week. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? You have to have players.
It doesn't make sense when you look at a player. They've got a player sitting on their books who's earned so much money that he could fund all them staff going redundant.
Well, actually, he did do that.
Yeah. But the thing is, look, at the end of the day, it's not his fault they chose to pay him the amount of money he's paying. You know, that's part and parcel of football. You know, a lot of these lower league sides have been punching above their weight, trying to finance things and things like that. And this now is highlighting where they've gone wrong. But it's also highlighting where the Premier League sides have gone wrong. You know, and that's the big issue, is that for too long this money's gone, and nobody learnt from Rangers when Rangers went bust the way they did. You know, nobody's learnt from that mistake. And as I said before, right, like you said, that's a full league going bust. The Premier League don't care.
The thing is,
that's an opportunity for them.
The thing is, if every single Premier League player donated 1 week's wages, it'd save the Football League. 1 week's wages would save the Football League and get them through this pandemic. It's crazy.
But playing devil's advocate, why should they?
Because they've got to remember. It's hard to say. They've got to remember where they come from.
Mate, I agree with you, but
without these football clubs in the lower league, I know there's people saying it's not their responsibility. I know that. I know it's not their responsibility. And then people will probably say, yeah, but if your work asked you to donate a week's wages, would you? I'm not on their sort of money. No. So it's different. It's a totally different world to what I'm in. I look at my wage pay slip every month. They probably don't even know what a mortgage is, never will know what a mortgage is. You know what I mean? So it's a different world to them. But it's mad to think that every single Premier League player, if they was to donate 1 week's wages, would probably save the Football League probably more than longer than one season, probably 2 or 3 seasons.
And that's it, and this is the thing. They can do it. They don't have to do it, but they can do it. And if they actually cared a lot about the football structure and the way things are, they would do it. But the problem is the mismanagement of football clubs in the lower league is why a lot of these teams are now starting to go bust, because they've been mismanaged. They've been trying to overachieve. They've been paying League Two, paying £5,000 a week for players to play football is ridiculous. I said this at the beginning of the pandemic when all this lockdown started and we started realising these lower league sides are in trouble. League One, League Two should be semi-professional. You should only get professional when you get to the Championship. And that way these clubs would be able to fund themselves. Wouldn't need handouts here, handouts there. Wouldn't need bailing out. And that's the biggest problem. They got there was so much money flowing through the game. When the ITV stuff collapsed, that's when they should have realised, wait a minute, we can't sustain this. We can't keep going the way we're going. So there's been warnings. There's been warnings, and this is the big point where it's now boiling over. And some of these sides are going to go. I really do think some sides will disappear. We'll see another Bury disappear off and have to come back as a fan-owned club in the lower leagues. They need to change the structure of football massively, and the Premier League can play a big part in that.
Wage cap would be a good start.
They've got to care. Yeah. I don't understand why there isn't a wage cap in world football. I don't know why FIFA has used this opportunity now to sit down and say, right, we need to bring a structure in, wage caps across the board. Level the playing field a bit.
I think to be honest, right? You talk about like League One, League Two clubs, and I do know people, they overspend and they get ambitious owners and all of this sort of thing. And I think you're right, Ryan. A wage cap in each league would help. You know what I mean? Like it would help them not overspend and all of that sort of thing. Obviously, there'd have to be rules in place because there's people in the chat saying, they'd just all go out and spend all of their money and then just go, give us money. We've run out. You know what I mean? But it's, there has to be caps. But I think football in general. I mean, I was having discussions with Graham today about pitch fees and things like that, and like in the middle of a public park, and I was saying he's saying we have to pay over £1,000 for a pitch over wherever the fuck it is now. Where is it? Beckton, isn't it?
Beckton Pyramids.
Over £1,000 for a pitch for a season. And I'm like, if no one's on it, what's to stop you from just getting your nets out?
Like, I'll tell you, there was one place, Nick, right? Bearing in mind, because of what's going on, there's no changing facilities, right? Yeah. So you come in the car, you have to get changed at the side of the pitch in your car. So if it's having it down with rain, you're getting changed in the car. You go and play football, you're soaking wet from football, you got to get changed in the car. A place wanted £3,000 for a season, and that's with no changing facilities to play football.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It's a joke.
I was hearing places the other day charging, them 4G pitches, £75 an hour for a quarter of a pitch. That's ridiculous. Pricing people out of football, and it just goes across the leagues. But yeah, this TV deal is fucking.
You think, right? The Premier League are trying to outprice working class people from attending the games Now it looks like Sky and BT and all that are coming together to outprice the working class of watching football on the telly.
It's about time we stuck up for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, we're not the only people. I mean, I've seen top people being outraged this today.
Well, one of the big people for me, and I wasn't surprised because he always speaks up, was Gary Neville, and he actually worked at Sky, and he said it's an absolute disgrace. You know what? Hopefully more people will come out, and maybe the Premier League clubs might sort of come together and maybe be able to work something out for the fans. So, like, I don't know, it's like, say, season ticket holders. They give you I don't know, some money back, but they won't. I know that. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, right. They'll probably backtrack on it after the outrage, but it just shows you the fact that they think 19 of them out of 20 think they can just do it. It just shows you how out of touch they are and how much they want to. The deed's already done. Whether they turn around and go, "Oh well, no, we was only joking," you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, we was just testing the waters.
Yeah. Like, the deed's already done. We've already seen their true colours. Like, they're scum. They're absolute scum.
And that's the thing, good on Leicester for standing up and being the one that didn't follow the rest of the sheep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Leicester, the feel I get of Leicester City is that they're a side that they base themselves around the fans. Do you know what I mean? Everything they do is for the fans. They've got a nice little stadium. They include the fans as much as possible. Things that's gone on over there the past few years.
That would be naive to say everything they do is for the fans, but they have the fans in mind.
Yeah, that's. And
that makes it a bit easier to swallow.
It's always been with Leicester. You always find that they always do things for the away fans as well, like give them a beer voucher or a food voucher or something to get something. They've always looked after their fans. To be fair,
yeah,
they're a well run club, Leicester.
Right. Let's take some of these comments because I see them flying past. Someone's donated $14.99. Says spend some of these beers. I'll send you streams. Says Kano P. Thank you very much. We will. It's all part of the plan. Agenda 21 in full effect, same as the pubs. Every Premier League club gave Richard Scudamore $250,000 as a retirement present. Yeah, exactly. Money gam to money, and that's what they're all about. They all scratch each other's backs.
Fuck me, I didn't even get a leaving card when I left work.
Reno 1971 said, "We'll see." It's already got the go-ahead. Toon versus United first pay-per-view. Sullivan won't give any money unless it's for him. Metal in both legs says, "Yeah, the stock market has record highs." It's so many people are, absolutely fucking ridiculous. Should we talk about the transfer market?
Yeah, obviously it looks like it's still open, isn't it? We can sign from the lower league clubs. Fuck me, they might need our money, but yeah, we've been linked with a few championship players this week.
Let's talk about the ones that are gone because we haven't spoke about it since.
Yeah. I mean, Jack Wilshere. Do you know what? I listened to an interview on TalkSport earlier that he'd done. Come across really well, to be fair. It seems like it was a mutual decision with him and West Ham. There's no hard feelings there. So good luck to Jack Wilshere. I'm gutted it never worked out for him at West Ham, but good luck to him. Felipe Anderson for me was a bit of a shock, really, that we let him go. But that tells me that we have got players in mind to come in. We have been linked with Ben Rama from Brentford, Josh King from Bournemouth, even linked with Junior Stanislas from Bournemouth, obviously a former player, winger. He's only 30. Seems like he left the club in like 2011.
Yeah, I remember when he broke through.
Yeah, obviously we've been linked with a few defenders as well. Dawson, is it? No, not Dawson. I forgot his name now. The Watford boy, Dawson. Yeah, so it's interesting. It's interesting, but yeah, I was a bit shocked with the Felipe Anderson one, to be fair. But good luck to him. I hope he goes out there and plays well. I see a lot of backlash for him. People giving him a bit of stick. Listen, you're always going to get that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's it. What do you think of the Wilshere comments that he was fit for 8 months?
Hey,
Wilshere come out and said I was fit for 8 months.
Well, he was fully fit. He just wasn't fit. He said that on the radio. He said lockdown was the best thing to happen for him because he said, as a football player, you don't do much running in training. He said, but during lockdown, it gave him a lot of time to do a lot of running, and he got over his injuries, and he has been fit. And people in the squad and the club have said that he has been fit, but he just wasn't picked. David Moyes just didn't fancy him for whatever reason. And he respected that. He said that. He said, look, I respect that. It's the manager's decision at the end of the day.
From what I've seen, injury-wise, it's just catching up with him. He's too slow, not quick enough now. You know, I mean, it's such a shame with him because you look back at that sort of kid that, you know, took the great Barcelona team to task that day, and you see him, you know, out playing the game's greats like Iniesta and Xavi at the time, and you know, like absolutely bossing the midfield, absolutely fantastic career. But let's not kid ourselves now. If that kid still existed, he wouldn't be playing for West Ham.
No,
he'd be playing for Barcelona. He'd be playing for Real Madrid or someone like that. You know what I mean? Every time I've seen him, he doesn't do anything for me. He can barely move, and when he does move, he gets another injury. Injuries have just taken the toll on his career. To be fair to him, and I'm going to be really fair because I like Jack Wilshere, and I've liked him as a character and all of that sort of thing. But he's another one that's sort of stealing a living out of the game. Should have retired 5 years ago because his ankles he's got biscuit legs.
Simple but the thing is, mate, as a football player, if you still feel you can offer something, you're not going to retire.
He breaks down every year, right? He breaks down at some point.
This is what I'm saying. Someone like Jack Wilshere, to get the best out of Jack Wilshere, needs a good run of games with no injuries, and he can't do that at the moment. So maybe he was talking about maybe moving abroad and playing, or going up to Scotland. And I think, that's going to be better to suit him because he needs a slower paced game.
Yeah, where he's gone's the right move for him. Let's be honest. It's a lot slower pace. It's not as tough as the Premier League, so he'll play and he'll probably stay injury free for a while. You know, it's game management for him now with the injuries that he's had and the injuries he keeps getting. A bit like Andy Carroll. You know, it's the same as the Andy Carroll situation. You know, stealing a living's. Yeah, you are probably right. You know, he's had probably as many injuries as Kieran Dyer did, and he was stealing a living towards the end as well.
Fucking Kieran Dyer's going on the I see it today. He's going on the next celebrity SAS thing. Fuck me, he'll last long in that. Probably won't even get out of the truck. Getting out of the truck, he'll be out for 3 weeks.
That's the thing. I'm disappointed Wilshere's gone because he is a talent, but like you said, we never saw, and we're never going to see the talent that he actually is. You know, he's that's that. It didn't work out. That's fair enough. It was a gamble. It was an expensive gamble, but that's fine. Again, as we said, with him going, Cullen going, leaves us very light in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, Cullen for me
is a big worry for me.
Cullen for me was I wouldn't say it was much of a surprise because I sort of was expecting him to leave, but it's just a shame with him. It's just a shame. But you see his response after when he left, the thing that he put on his Instagram. It just shows how much he loved the football club, and it's a shame it never worked out for him. That's another player that I thought would have, you know, this season could have been in and around the squad, you know, got a few chances, and you know, hopefully he would have took it. But yeah, look,
I think getting COVID absolutely killed any chance he had of getting in and around the first team.
Yeah, well, the thing is that deal was probably spoken about weeks ago. A deal to Anderlecht does happen over a day, does it? It's probably been tagged weeks ago. So, yeah, it's a shame with Cullen, but yeah, I mean, we are looking. I mean, we've been linked with so many Championship players. I mean, there's only 3 on the thumbnail, but I could have put like 33 on there. You know, there's so many we've been linked with. Bradley Dack at Blackburn, another young midfielder. I think he's a London boy. So, yeah, I mean, there's loads of players we've been linked with, but it's whether we get them in. We've got until next Friday to get them in. So next Friday's Friday Night Pint Show should be good because it'll be a live sort of transfer window as well.
Well, let's hope we do sign. The problem is, I'll be honest, I don't think we'll sign anybody. Maybe one player.
I think we will. I think Josh King. I think we'll get in. I think that'll be a good deal as well. I think it'll be a good sort of backup.
That's rumoured to be off, though, isn't it? Because he wants 90 grand a week and they want too much money and he wants to play for Champions League team and all of this sort of nonsense. So,
yeah, well, the people that broke that news, I don't listen to their shit anyway. So I've seen other people saying, and I was literally just watching it on Sky Sports News now, saying about Josh King. So yeah, look, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, we have to move on.
Yeah, that's it. The thing is, he's a decent player. You know, he's got Premier League experience. He can score goals, but is he going to play second fiddle to Antonio?
Well, anywhere he goes, Scott, he's going to have to play second fiddle. Let's be honest. Unless he goes to a team
that's the thing.
Who can't afford him.
Well, this is it.
But the problem. Do you want to know my opinion? My truthful opinion. They've stripped it. We are so bare. We are so bare when it comes to play. Like, letting Anderson go, I thought was mental.
Well, this is what makes me think that there are deals lined up, because I don't think they would have let him go without.
What's the point? What was the point in? Well, I know what the point is. I'm sort of asking myself a question, but Diangana was there. If you're going to let Anderson go, then Diangana was there. They've sold Diangana first for cold hard cash, and then they've done it with Anderson to get him off the books. So it's what they call asset stripping. And the reason why I think, and I know people are going to slag me off and all that, I think there is truth in the takeover. They are stripping back the books. They are making it more attractive to a potential buyer. I think there is truth. And you look around now, there are people that coldly denied it at the start because they don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and then you see people coming out today. I see accounts coming out today saying publicly they don't want to admit they'll sell, but privately they're getting ready to sell. And
so you look at the value of the club increased by 85 million.
The thing is with these in the nose, right? And this. I think this is why everyone got a little bit upset, because like the likes of X and Claret and you weren't saying it. Do you really think? We know where they get their information from, but do you really think if someone was going to take over the club, if they was going to sell the club, that they'd be leaking it to in the nose? They let the in the nose know what they want them to know.
They want them to know. Exactly.
Yeah. There ain't nothing coming out of that club that they don't want them to know, and they don't want everyone else to know. They are on a need to know basis. And with that sort of stuff, they don't need to know. That's why they wouldn't know. That's why they wouldn't.
Do you know the only?
Hold on, Scott. That ain't slagging anyone off. That ain't fucking, that ain't putting anyone down. That ain't, trying to discredit anyone. But honestly, they will let them know what they want them to know. And a club sale is not going to be something that they want people to know about.
Right. No, the only time they'll want people to know about it, when they will actually leak it, if they want to start a bidding war. If they know there's more than
and what's happening now?
Involved.
Now everyone's starting to change their mind.
Yeah, but this is the thing. That's what they'll do, because if they want to leak it, they're going to want to leak it to increase. Like, hang on a minute, they are interested in selling. This account's saying it. This, and we know what, And this is the thing. If they've got 2 or 3 parties interested in buying the club, they'll start to leak little bits of information to say, oh yeah, the deal's on the cards. It's going to, the value of the club's now 400 million, and then all of a sudden someone's bid 450, and that is what they're going. That's when they'll start leaking the information and getting it all out there when they want to, because they want to start a bidding war between the companies or the people that want to buy the club off of them.
If you strip, Eamon Green says, if you strip the assets of a club, you get less for the club. So it does not make commercial sense to strip the assets. They're not assets as in, this is not a normal company. Assets are for a company, assets would be buildings and stuff like that. Yeah, in normal terms, you would. Jack Wilshere is not an asset. He's an asset, but he's not. He's an asset that actually costs them money. So what I mean by asset stripping is you get the wages off the books, and you get that wage behind £100 million. The profit looked better. The books look better. Yep. And that company then becomes worth more money. That's the
increase, way. As I said, when they after the close of the transfer window, the club value increased by 85 million because of the amount of money that they've saved, and that's what it is. When you're you're putting a club out there to buy, the expenditure of the club has dropped massively, so it's increased the value.
Of course,
because like you said, it makes the club look more attractive. Like I said, when you've got a, if you've got, I don't know, like a property business, the more properties you've got, the more attractive it is. So you don't strip the assets. But to a club that the main thing you're paying out a year is wages and transfer fees. If you're decreasing your expenditure and showing that you're increasing, you're getting a bit of money in through selling players, especially selling young players and things like that, it boosts the profile of the club and the profits of the club. And that's exactly what they've done. And this is what makes me think they may not sign anybody.
Gary, 20. Sorry, Roy.
No,
2023, not before. I don't believe that they're willing to wait that long. It's too long for them.
I sort of agree with that comment. I don't think they're going to sell it anytime soon. I really don't. I think this secret agent, whatever he was, I think it's a bit of a piss take, really, to get fans a bit excited, because it seems to have gone all a little bit quiet now that the season ticket things all over and all things like that. I know we all want them to sell. I just can't see them selling. I mean, he was talking about they're selling before Christmas. I can't see that happening. No way. I hope I'm wrong, but no way.
I don't think it's 2023. I'm sure it's not 2023. I'm sure it's 2021.
No,
when they don't have to pay back.
It was 2023.
It was when the deal got signed. That was
when did the deal get signed?
Because obviously they have to pay a fine, don't they, if they sell before a certain date. So what they're probably trying to do is part of the deal to sell the club is that they get enough money to sort of recoup that fine that they've got to pay. So that's probably what they're holding out for. And let's be honest, you can't blame them. You can't blame them for doing that because it is their business at the end of the day. As much as we hate them and we want them out, it is their business at the end of the day. So they've got to get as much money as they can. We'd love them to get away, but they won't.
They have to pay 40% of the profit. So so take out what they paid for the club, they pay 40% of the profit to the taxpayer if they sell the club within a certain period of time. So all you need to do is find someone that's willing to pay that percentage on top.
Yeah,
and they're gone.
That's what I'm
saying. The reason why I think they'll sell. Yeah, This is the God's honest truth. This is the God's honest truth. Because, and hear me out here, and this is just opinion. I don't know nothing. I don't know more than John McCarthy or Roy Major. I don't know nothing, right? So don't shoot the messenger here. But this is just my opinion. Because at the moment, there is fucking the hate towards the owners at the moment is, I would say, 2, 3, 4 times as much as it was 2 years ago. They've absolutely rinsed the fuck out of these fans. The fans have just had enough of them. They've got people standing at the gates. It's not many people, but as crowds are allowed to more gather and things, it was it will get stronger and stronger. They do not want to be sitting in that director's box the day when fans are allowed back in. Because they know it will cost more. It will cost them more money because it'll be fines. It will, it will turn into you see what happened last time. Times that by 10, because that's what'll happen. Because more this is the thing. The more he speaks, the deeper hole he digs himself. Sullivan, like he's at a point now where he can't get himself out this hole. But the more he talks, and the more, and let's not forget as well that, like at the moment where people can't go and stuff, the anger's just building up and building up and building up and building up. People are just fucking so frustrated with them. Like, and I'll be honest, as a fan, I've felt frustrated because I feel I'm helpless at the moment because you're not there. You can't give your opinion, you know what I mean? And all of that sort of stuff. Obviously, we can go on this, but I don't think they want to be in that director's box the day when fans are allowed back, because if they do, I think they're expecting violence, to be quite honest with you. We know what some of our fans are. Some of our fans are fucking Herberts. They are Herberts, you know what I mean? And they come from a place where you know, when I was younger, if you had a problem with someone, you went out on the green and scrapped it out, and you know, the comeback, and that's where a lot of our working class fans come from. And if they're there the day we go back to the stadium, there's going to be chaos. And I think they're just thinking, yeah, fuck that. No, I don't believe that, Abby. Fans won't be hostile if we keep on winning. I don't believe that. People are still hostile.
That's what they'll hope. That's what they're going to rely on. The fact that if we keep winning and keep pushing up the table, it'll sort of take the spotlight off of them. And that's where a lot of the a lot of the groups, Hammers United and all that, are pushing. Where we are big advocates of you support the team, not the regime. And that's what they're saying. Don't let them off the hook. Because we're performing well on the pitch, don't forget of all the stuff that's gone before. And that's something we need to make sure that does happen. But that's what they're thinking. They are thinking that if we get back into that stadium in the top half of the league and we're playing well and results and performances are going well, they think then the spotlight will be took off them. That's what they're relying on.
There's still anger today.
Oh,
and we've won the last 2 games 3-0 and 4-0. I just think it's too far gone. This is just my opinion. I don't think they will want to be in charge by the time that fans are allowed back. I think this is giving them a break. I think this is giving them a sort of a scot-free, perfect opportunity to do what they've wanted to do for years, to be quite honest with you, and that's strip the fucking squad down to the bare bones, as Redknapp used to say. Because they know that there's no one to face when they get to the stadium. They know that there's going to be no one sort of clambering over their seats to get to them. And I think they'll see this as a perfect opportunity. Right, let's ride into the dark now. We can enjoy the last sort of the last 10 games sort of hassle free. We all see gold. Sullivan especially, like you see him at games when there's no fans here. He looks relaxed. He looks, to be fair, he looks fucking healthy, to be honest with you. And when you see fans are there, you see him. He's nervous. He's fucking always, worried and all that. And I think at their age, I just think they've had enough. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Right, off subject massively, Nick. Yeah. Linda Ferguson, can you check your Facebook message? Sent a message.
Boy, please, could you check your Facebook messages? I've sent a message to you towards for a pint glass, please.
All right, so just remember that. Just say I'll just saw it flash up, so I wanted to say, we'll check that one after.
Yeah, I'll check it. Don't worry, no problem.
Sorry, off subject slightly, but I don't know. It's we should have got through the transfer window and been happy, but we still quite sad, don't we? Let's be honest. It's,
but the thing is, you say that, Scott, we could go and get 2 or 3 decent players from the championship and add to our squad, and it's disappointing. Obviously, the news about Masuaku picked up an injury. I don't know how long he's going to be out for or how bad it is, but that'd be a massive blow if he's out, because he's been one of our informed players at the moment. Let's hope it's nothing too major. Yeah,
let's hope it's just an injury. That's one of them injuries that just keeps him out of the internationals. But he'll be back. He'll be back for the Spurs game, because I'm with you. He's been last couple of games. He's been brilliant, and we saw the Masuaku that we saw a couple of seasons ago when he played Tottenham. Sorry. And he was nutmegging people and going around people like they weren't there, and we were getting to the good Masuaku, and now this injury is just, and that's the thing with the Anderson going, with the squad a bit depleted. You're sitting there now. Well, who's going to play left wing if he's not available? Because he.
Oh wait, hang on.
Yeah,
we let him know, didn't we?
And now this is the problem. You think of how he's been playing on the left wing. He's had 4-0 sort of in front of him in the attacking 3. So that it's not, he's not playing left midfield. He's not playing attacking left in the 3. He is playing as a wing back in a 5. Who else have we got to play that position?
Anderson could play that position. Anderson played left back for Lazio before.
And there you go. So we've got nobody.
It'd be Cresswell.
It'd be. Ben Rama.
No chance. I'm with Scott. I don't think we'll sign anyone. I think we'll sign one, maybe.
Yeah, I think we won. And to be honest, I think it'll be a backup centre half.
Mm.
Well, let's just
it
see.
Probably will be the cheapest one out there.
It's all ifs and buts in it. I mean, at the moment, there's a week's a long time in football. Let's just see what happens. If we don't sign anyone this time next week, then we can all sit here and fucking proper have a moan up. But let's just hope that we do get 2 or 3 players in, because at the moment, as we said, our first team 11 is a decent team. I mean, David Moyes come out yesterday and said that he wants to work with a smaller squad and then promote, if there's any youngsters get promoted to match day squad, then he's all for that. And we all sort of praised David Moyes in the beginning of summer when he said he wants to promote younger players and bring younger players into the club. But it seems now that sort of some fans are turned on that, and I can understand David Moyes might be forced to say that he likes to work with a smaller squad. But listen, you never know.
Well, I can't get behind that notion. When the first bit of business we done in the transfer window sold Diangana, our youngest, brightest prospect. That's why I can't believe it. I said it
back then. I say it again now. I think the money was too good to turn down for Diangana. I think the money was too good to turn down for him. I really do.
I don't believe that, especially if you've got plans to let Anderson go. Like, if you want, if you want a young squad, you want your brightest prospect there, and they've just sold him to, let's be honest, the fucking relegation rival.
I think the Diangana sale was the fact that nobody was interested in Anderson or Lanzini. To be honest, they were looking to get some people off the books, get some money into the club. Nobody at the time wanted Lanzini. Nobody at the time wanted Anderson, and West Brom come in with an offer which I don't think personally was a good enough offer. As I said, if it was 18 million up front plus add-ons, I could see why they would have took it. 12 million plus add-ons, I don't think it's a good offer. But, he may not have worked out. From what I've seen when he's played for West Brom and the highlights that I've seen him play, we're missing out on a good player there. And 12 million was a steal. 18, as I said, 18 million from the outset plus add-ons, I think would have been a better deal. But that's why they sold him, because they couldn't offload the players they wanted to offload.
There you go.
Do you know what? I want us to have a bloody good transfer, like this English transfer window. I want us to have a good one, because I don't want to come on here next week and be negative. Because Friday Night Pint's not about negative. This is when we get together and we have a laugh, and it's like us sitting in a pub. I don't want Friday Night Pints to be negative. This is the most negative Friday Night Pint we've done.
Yeah, but because obviously with what's gone on today, and obviously we had the transfer window closed the other day, and we haven't done a video since then.
I don't think.
No, I know.
I don't think that sticking up for fans and speaking up against fucking corporate corruption in the Premier League is being negative. Yeah, it's not a happy clappy subject. I'm not going to sit there laughing and smiling about it. But I feel that's what I feel that's what these shows are about, and that's what these platforms are about. I'm all for the fan.
Mate, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It's just the Friday Night Pint has always been. We've always had a laugh. We've always been, it's always been sort of like things to get us through the lockdown.
Yeah, but now we're on 58 minutes and 50 seconds. We're going to go ask us anything in 1 minute.
Quickly on the championship situation. I mean, we're looking at the players. We've been quite, apart from, I say, Jordan Hugill. I mean, you look at the players that we've signed from the championship. We've got some good players. Antonio being probably the best one out of a lot of them. Bowen is going to go on to be a great player for us. Creswell's been a good servant. He's been there, 6 years now, 7 years at the club. So there are decent players in that championship. You look at Leeds. Leeds have come up. They've still got a championship team, and they're taking it to the big boys this season. Liverpool, Man City matched them both games. So there is decent players in that championship. So I wouldn't get too downhearted about looking at championship players.
Oh no, mate! I'm not, like you said. I think we've had more hits than we have misses when we've tried to sign players from the Championship over recent years. I think Hugel was probably really the only one that didn't really work out. Like you said, we've got Bowen, Antonio, Criswell. They've all come from the Championship, and they've all been and being good servants to.
We got to remember as well.
They improved the team.
Fabianski come from the Championship as well.
Yeah. All right, look, I hope they prove me wrong and we go out and sign 3 decent players coming from the Championship.
I know there's young, hungry players down there, but we've had all summer and more to sign the replacements. They. I mean,
yeah, but we haven't got rid of the players early enough in the war, have we? So maybe
they can still identify them, right? They can still identify them. It seems
how do you know they ain't?
I just don't.
We identified them, and then every other club nicked them because they done their business earlier than we did.
No, but someone like everyone was going on about that easy. I've watched him for Crystal Palace, and I haven't been that impressed with him. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he hasn't set the world alight at Crystal Palace, has he? Now,
what about Ollie Watkins?
Yeah, but Ollie Watkins was all right. We've missed out on that one, but it comes down to they paid the 25 million, and Aston Villa gambled, and it's worked out for him. All right, he scored a hat-trick against Liverpool the other day, but who's not to say that could be his only 3 goals of the season? I'm not saying it will be, but we've missed out on him. But there's other players down there. They took a gamble on him, and it's worked out.
And that's what it is. And to be fair, you'd sort of rather take a gamble on a player from the Championship than someone who's new into the league. If you're going to take a gamble, you want to take, because as we've said previously, the Championship is a tough division. So someone coming into the Premier League from the Championship is going to be used to the physicality of the game and playing a lot of games in a short period of time. Whereas sometimes players coming from abroad, they take a little while to get up to speed. You look at Fornals when he looked, when we saw him, the highlights of him playing for Spain's under 23s or under 21s, whatever it was, he looked phenomenal. He come in and he struggled because he had to get used to the physicality of the game. Championship players, not so much because they're used to it.
Tim Cummins says they bid on 18 defenders for fuck's sake, and they couldn't sign one of them. Phil Brown says we get beaten to the punch every time. Matt Gibbon backs you up a little bit. Ryan says Pookie was banging goals in. People should calm down a bit and judge people longer term. Costa Hammer says scattergun approach is not identifying players. That I agree with. Ashby perhaps. There are good players in the Championship, but I think the problem with them is, they don't like to spend money up front, do they? You know what I mean? They want these players. We've seen it with.
This might be a good. I know it's not a good thing to say, but looking at it as a business point of view, as an owner of a football club, this might be a good time to take advantage of the Championship teams because they do need the money. So if you offer them installments, they're going to take it because they need the money. So
I'll be honest, mate. I think that's why this this thing of the transfer deadline, where they've left it in the extra period of time to deal within your own country. That's why I think they've done it, because they know that some Championship clubs are going to get to this stage now where they're thinking, well, especially if they're down near the bottom of the Championship and they've got a good player, it's going to generate income that's going to keep the club going. And again, this goes back to what we said earlier in the show. Premier League clubs taking advantage of the situation and stripping the Championship of their best players when they know they can't hold out for big money because they're so desperate for money.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on a little bit. Right. Let's ask us anything, guys, so you can get some questions in at the bottom. We're probably going to do, what do you say tonight? Half hour?
Yeah, that's fine.
Half hour. We'll do half hour of this, and we'll have a little bit of fun and all of that sort of thing. What are we drinking tonight, boys? We drinking anything?
Yeah, I'm on water tonight because I don't really feel. And it ain't COVID before people start fucking jumping on it. Feel a bit run down, so yeah.
I'm on Bud Lights tonight.
I'm drinking that straight vodka in a water bottle.
I ain't got nothing. I had a bit of Oasis sugar-free earlier. That's what I've got. I can't really drink anything or eat anything still at the minute. Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan.
Who?
Roddy Piper or Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan for me.
It was always Hulk Hogan for me when I was younger, yeah.
I did like Piper though.
I think Roddy Piper was a bit before our time. I think he was a bigger star before we sort of started watching wrestling. What do you think of Raz Van Rat? I used to watch his show on ITV in the 80s.
Do you remember him, old Raz Van Rat?
Yeah,
one of Big Sam's fucking classic signings. He was, but he didn't do too bad. But yeah.
What's the first music? This one's a nice one for you, Scott. I know you like your music. What's the first music album you bought?
First one I actually bought myself was Michael Jackson's Thriller. Not when it first came out, but that was the first album I went and bought myself.
Why?
I don't know. It was probably one of the Now albums or something like that. I can't really remember.
I know what mine was. I remember buying it. I still remember buying it to this day. Went to Wharfs and bought Bad. Michael Jackson Bad. Big fucking fuck off record. Like that was before CDs were out even.
Yeah, I can't really remember.
I went and got it with my Christmas money. I went and bought a massive Michael Jackson fan when I was younger. Massive.
I was quite lucky because my brother was right into music, so I used to just borrow his stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, that was the first one I went and bought myself.
Here's one for Ryan.
Oh, go on. Sorry, go on. What was it?
Who's your favourite boxer?
Of all time, Mike Tyson. In today, Tyson Fury.
Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis.
It's anyone I know.
I love Lewis. Lewis is great.
Ridiculous fact you know.
Ridiculous fact.
Ooh. Mine would probably be, and this come up in the family Zoom questions that everyone was doing during lockdown, and it come up. They asked this question. I knew the answer straight away. It was that giraffes haven't got voice boxes.
What?
And they don't make a noise. Huh?
I always thought they went like
no, that's a drunk sheep.
I honestly thought they used to they bleat. I thought they went when they stuck their tongues out.
It's just a random thing that someone told me years ago, and I thought one day I'm going to need that in a quiz in lockdown, and it happened. I'm
slowly thinking now that's the most random thing that I know now. Do you know what? I'm normally the one that has all the remembers loads of random stuff that I shouldn't remember, and for the life of me, I can't think of one at the minute.
Because you're on the spot.
Matt that's it.
Besides other West Ham fan channels, what YouTube channels do you watch?
I watch Jack Mate's Happy Hour. Jack Mate, True Geordie podcast. What else do I watch? I watch my mate Charlie Roxburgh stuff sometimes. His podcasts. What's it called, Scott? The Antisocial Podcast?
Antisocial Podcast, yeah.
Yeah, I watch that. It's mostly podcasts, really. Joe Rogan Experience. Any stuff that my son sort of watches, and I've just watched that. Old wrestling bios and videos about old time wrestling because I still like wrestling. That sort of thing. Scott, do you watch anything?
I don't. I'll be honest. I hardly watch anything on YouTube.
That's or playing, isn't it?
No, the boy watches different bits and pieces, but I have started watching Monster Trucks, Monster Jam.
do you remember? Right, do you want to ask before what YouTube channels you watch?
No, I just watch a lot of same really podcasts, like especially the boxing podcasts like Kurgan Cassius and things like that. But I like watching a lot of like when you see people going to filming locations where films were filmed and things like that. I like all that sort of stuff. I've always been a little nerd with that, like watching filming locations and shit like that. So yeah, I mean, you can fill up hours watching shit on YouTube. I mean, so
do you remember the first one that you watched? The first ever video you watched?
The first ever video?
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
I do. I remember. I remember.
Probably something West Ham.
This is something I've watched on YouTube.
Dr. Pimple Popper. Yeah, I think I've seen that as well.
She's got her own show now on one of the American channels, so I watch it on there. But I did used to watch that one.
The first one I ever see, and this is what I was trying to show my mum it when I got home, and I had to. I was thinking, what's that website? What's that website? That's how long ago it was. It was when it first came out. It was like a magic trick where one of the magicians, probably still on there now, when he cuts the woman in the half, and the woman starts scattering towards people, and they're screaming and running away and falling over.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was the first ever one I watched, and I got home and I was like, "Mum, I got to show you this video." And before YouTube, there was nothing really like that, was there? There was no.
No,
there was a steakandcheese.com.
Yeah, that the old website before it was a porn website. Yeah.
That was the most fucked up website as a youngster. Watching the shit on that was like scars you for life.
Who would look best?
Who would what?
Look best in suspenders?
I'd have to say Dan. I reckon he could pull him off.
He's got the figure, isn't he, for it?
Yeah. Or Graham.
You know what? I would say Graham because Graham's got nice slender legs, but they're hairy as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He'll have them on, but he'll have
all the hairs poking out of him.
He'll have his big hairy bollocks hanging over him or something. Yeah.
I think Dan. I reckon Dan would be the best one.
Roy Chappell says, "Is Bowen a much better player than Anderson?" I think so.
Yeah, Bowen gives a lot more for the team, doesn't he? Going forward and working back, and I think Bowen's going to be I sound a bit like a redneck now, but I think he's going to be a really top player. And I think maybe not the next transfer window, but maybe in a couple of transfer windows, there'll be some big teams after him. I think.
Favorite program when you're growing up?
Favorite kids program? Tom and Jerry. I still love it now. They've got another movie coming out. Probably not going to be as good, but yeah, I love Tom and Jerry as a kid. Still love it now. The old ones.
Transformers for me. I love Transformers.
I love Bugs Bunny. Love all that.
Someone said Mr. Beast when it comes to YouTube. Yeah, I watch him as well, man. That geezer's crackers. Have you ever seen Mr. Beast?
No.
He's fucking mental, mate. Just gives people money.
Nice guy.
Yeah, honestly.
Where is he? I ain't seen him around my way.
He lives in America somewhere. There's one from Cross Dammers. You can answer that one, Roy.
What's the meaning of life and everything? Fuck knows. Pie mashing liquor, a nice pint, and West Ham winning. That'd do.
I think the meaning of life is to be happy.
Nick's getting a bit deep tonight, mate. I don't like Nick like this.
Who's your favourite A-team character?
Murdoch.
Ali Mad Murdoch, mate. Ali Mad Murdoch all day.
Murdoch was brilliant.
Yeah, Murdoch was he was the divvy one, wasn't
he was a nutty one. He was crazy, weren't he, Murdoch? He was funny enough, he was the pilot, I think, weren't he, as well?
Yeah. You know what? Out of all the episodes of the original A-Team, no one ever died in it.
No.
See, that's the interesting fact, Scott.
That was 80s television. That was 80s television.
Even an helicopter would smash into the side of the mountain, but everyone gets out alive.
First impressions, based on their debut, who's the worst player you ever saw, and long term you were right?
Me.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Boogers, because that was a fucking awful debut.
Midu and Savio. But Midu, for me, is the worst player I've ever seen in a West Ham show. As I said before, I've never seen a Premier League player with a beer gut before. I thought, honestly, I never forget his debut, Scott. And Savio's debut was even worse, because I remember him falling over straight away, like when he got the ball. I thought, all right, I'll give him benefit of that. Premier League debut, a bit nervous. And then he got the ball again. He went to take it past someone. He fell over again. I was like, fucking hell.
That's when you know you finished, isn't it?
If you could buy any player from any era, who would you get?
I'm gonna outside the box here. If you could buy any player, what West Ham, just anyone in,
Just anyone.
just anyone. George Best.
I'll say Maradona.
I was going to say Maradona. George Best
or Zidane.
George Best was probably better than Maradona, but Maradona was on the stage more.
I reckon R9. Ronaldo.
The thing is, do you know what? Right? When you look at like the Bests, the Maradonas, and the Pelés, can you imagine them doing what they did back then with the footballs that they've got now? I mean, you look at when Pelé was playing them footballs, the heavy leather, the way they were.
Yeah, well, you could imagine them over the bar. That's probably what they'd be doing with them.
You could reverse that and say, would Ronaldo and Messi do it back in them days on them pitches and things like that? So it's a tough one, but yeah, or I'd go for Vic Watson, goal scorer.
The Hammer 93 going back to YouTube says James English. You'd like that, right? James English. I've seen a few of his. He does podcasts with some real interesting characters. You'd like that. You'd really like it. What team do you hate most? Tottenham.
Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't know. I think fan base. I think Tottenham. I just think they're so easy to wind up, and I love it. But club, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose Tottenham, Millwall as well. Yeah,
Millwall's hard to hate because they're a bit irrelevant because they're not really a rival. If you're not in
they are
division.
a rival. They're a big rival. They're a massive rival. They are our biggest.
Yeah, no, they are. But that's what I'm saying. We haven't played them for a while now. So
yeah, but that's why when we do it's nice. It's special.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
Lewis Wright says the best boxing film you've seen.
See, I'm a big fan of Rocky franchise. I always have been. Rocky 3 my favourite. Rocky 4 training sequence. I love it. Raging Bull. That's a brilliant film. I think. Yeah, like even Nick Tucker's just said
that. Yeah, was good.
I like Raging Bull. But the best boxing film I've seen, because I'm not a big fan of boxing anyway, was $1 Million Baby. I liked that film.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was decent. But I just love the. I've got a soft spot for not Stallone, but the Rocky character.
Yeah, Rocky's the mind, isn't it?
I love the Rocky films. I love them.
I agree with this comment. There it is. Oh, I'll put it back up. Creed is underrated. I thought the first Creed was a really good film.
Yeah, Creed 2 was decent. Creed 2 was decent, yeah. But I think it was similar storyline to before, wasn't it?
I thought you talked about the fucking band. Where you are with me.
What was the fighter? Some people were saying the fighter. What was that? The one with
The fighter was the one. I'm sure that's the one when his wife gets killed.
Is it
Christian Bell? Southpaw's. No, that's Southpaw where his wife gets shot.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Fat knows.
So fighters Christian Bell and Mark Wahlberg.
Batman.
Is it Mark Wahlberg? Where Christian Bell was the former boxer who's in Junkie, isn't he?
Yeah, that's the fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here's a good one. Miyagi Dojo or Cobra Kai?
Miyagi Dojo.
I don't know what that means.
What?
I know Cobra Kai. What's Miyagi Dojo? Is that?
It's Miyagi.
Miyagi-san.
Mr. Miyagi.
What one do you support? You ain't watched.
Oh
Cobra
no,
Kai.
you know what? Yeah, I get it now. I'm thinking. I thought that was another TV show because obviously Cobra Kai is a TV show now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I thought that's what they meant. But Miyagi all day long. Wax on, day on. Wax on, wax off.
Wax off.
Favorite Simpsons character?
See, the obvious one is Homer. I love Homer. He cracks me up. He still does to this day. But I like Chief Wiggum. I don't know why. He just makes me laugh.
I like Ralph Wiggum. I've always found him hilarious.
I like Mo.
Mo's Tavern,
Mo.
Yeah.
Mo's quality.
Yeah, Mo. Yeah.
Any more? Do you want to look for some?
I'm on the old computer today, so.
You're on a typewriter.
Yeah, that's just it. I'm on the old computer. The MacBook's updating.
If there was no football, what other sport would you follow?
I wouldn't. I don't think.
Yeah, I would. Obviously, I follow boxing now, but yeah, I don't know. If there was no football, you wouldn't know any different, would you? So,
mine would be cricket. If there was no football, it'd be cricket.
That's the problem with me. I'd be a fucking geek.
Sylvester Stallone impressions. I don't know. I don't think I can. Hey, yo, Adrian. Hey, you knocked him down while you try knocking me down, Tommy. Tommy gun only fights in the ring. Nah.
Terminator or RoboCop?
RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. I'm not really a big fan of the Terminator films, if I'm honest. I'll go for RoboCop.
They've rinsed it a bit, and they Terminator. Let's be honest, it's gone. It's one of them where it's gone a bit past this franchise.
But it just got too. Mind you, I say it got too silly. Have you ever seen RoboCop 2? Starts flying around. Flying around with a jetpack.
What was that one? What was the RoboCop where they get that big massive machine with the big machine guns? What's it?
I think that's 3.
Yeah, 3. That's when it started getting shooting. Then RoboCop 1, they chopped him up and chucked him out the back in limo, and he was on the floor.
RoboCop 1 was a brilliant film.
Yeah.
RoboCop. Anything past that was terrible. What is your best impression, and can you do it now?
I could do a great impression of a hot dog. I don't know. Go on, Scott. What's your best?
I'm not good. I'm not good at impressions, so
do you know what? I'm decent at impressions, but I can do a lot of the cast of Phone Jacker.
Go on then.
What one do you want? You tell me what one you want.
Whatever, you do them and we guess them.
All right then. Good afternoon, sir. I would like to take your bank account details and stock code. Here is the pigeons in the vault. We have to clean your money. Hello there. My name's Brian. Brian Button.
Joe Graham does a good one of that as well.
Me and him speak to each other like that.
I know.
Yeah. Every time we figure out, hello, Brian. How are you? One more for Brian. I could do the mouse. I'm a mouse. You want any cheese? Yeah. Just right. Let's go on. Look for some more questions.
Wire or Sopranos?
Sopranos. Because I've never seen The Wire.
Never seen The Wire? Oh, you need to watch Wire. I've never seen Sopranos, to be fair.
I've never seen both, so
you'd like The Wire, right?
I probably like The Sopranos more.
The Wire was really good, really, really good. Spider-Man or Superman?
Spider-Man.
I'd say Superman. I've never really seen the Spider-Man films. I'm not really into all that, like the Marvel and superheroes and all that. But I'd say Superman.
I'd rather be Superman than Spider-Man, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'd rather be Superman. I'd rather be a fucking. I'd rather be Superman.
Because you can fly,
and then
around on them little bits of string.
But not only that, he has to wear that tight lycra, fucking old Spider-Man. Well, at least with Superman, the cape can cover your fat ass.
You got to wear your pants outside of your trousers.
That's all right. Yeah, but then Scott, I'll go work all normal, hair comb to the side, glasses. I'll take them off, be Superman. No one recognises me. All I've got to do is take my glasses off. No one knows it's me.
It's the worst disguise, isn't it, ever? The Superman disguise. And is he not the only superhero that doesn't get changed into it, like he's already in his outfit, sort of thing?
Who?
Superman.
No, he doesn't work with his pants on, does he?
No. Superman changes into his disguise. All the other superheroes change into their outfits.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know
He's Superman, but his disguise is him being a human being, isn't it?
He's Clark Kent. Whereas everyone else, like Batman, is Bruce Wayne.
Mm.
You know, Bruce Wayne turns into Batman. Superman turns into Clark Kent. Now, first car you bought?
Mine was a P-Reg red Ford Fiesta.
And an old Astra. It got stolen before I could learn to drive. My mum bought it for me as a gift when I had my first driving test. I went out to have my first driving test. She was so sure I was going to pass. She bought it for me, and I passed on my fifth. So it was already sitting out the back and all that, and I lent it to like a family friend. It got stolen, and I never got to drive it.
My first motor was a Ford Orion.
Orion, yeah,
Orion. Remember them?
Hmm.
That was a nice motor. That was. All right, here we go.
I've been driving 17 years. I've only had 1, 2, 3, 4 cars.
You've had as many cars as I've written off.
Yeah, you've done well. Skydiving or bungee jumping?
Fucking
I'll be honest with you, I've got to say skydiving, because at least you've got a bit of time to think about it if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong with a bungee cord, mate, that's it.
I don't know, mate. My hands are sweating now just thinking about it. Do you know what I hate? Do you know what? You know when you watch the videos of people skydiving, they sit on the edge of the plane and they look down. I can't watch that. I don't want to do anything.
That's the thing. I don't know whether I've always wanted to do both. I've never done bungee. I've always wanted to do skydiving and bungee jumping.
I know people that have done them and they said it's the best experience you'd ever like. But it's that first bit. I'd rather go up there and then they just chuck you out straight instead of sitting on the edge, like just run and jump out, because then you can't do nothing. It's that sitting on the edge, because I've been like that, mate, and I'm holding on to the side. I'll be checking everything, like, mate. I'll make sure he attached to me, because what happens if like you fall out the plane and you turn around and he's come off and he's got the parachute on and you're up and you got nothing and you just spinning, looking at him.
Yeah, but at least you can have like you've got a little bit of time. Something could happen in that time.
My hands are literally sweating, like just thinking about it.
Have you seen that video where the guy he's doing the bungee jumping? He's got a woman. He attaches like the bungee to her feet, but the bungee's not attached to the thing, and he pushes her off, and she just falls to her death because he didn't attach the bungee.
Did you see that video the other day of them two people paragliding on the back of the boat and the cord come off?
Yeah,
of the boat, and they were fucking going up in the parachute. I'll tell you what, the best bungee jump video I've ever seen was when they set their mate up. Was when they told him to jump, but as they jumped, all his mates started screaming, saying no, and they chucked another rope over the edge, so it looked like it come off. The fear in this bloke's face, and he's screaming.
Oh fucking hell! What's your favourite West Ham fan TV video?
Oh,
mine's the funny enough. Mine's the Arsenal celebrations outside the Emirates. That's one of the favorite. That's one of my favourite ones from that from when we were doing the channel, to see like the way the fans all were outside like that. That was one of my favourites.
I think one of my I know there's all the obvious ones in there, but I think one of my favourites would probably be the first ever post match pint. because like you go back to then to like now, it just shows like how far we have come, but we haven't changed as people. So I'll probably say that. But there's so many funny ones. I mean, Nathan, his interviews after the game, Everton away. Everton away was a brilliant win. You know, that was one of my best away days when we beat Everton 3-2, and just the fan cams, and yeah, there's loads.
I produced a lot of them. So, like, obviously, you get the ones that, you know, we do fan cams and we do these and everything else, and there's not much thought behind these, but there's a few of them that, you know, I've had to put sort of creative thinking into, and I got to say, one of the best ones I remember doing, and it took me a long time to do as well, is the one. Do you remember when we filmed that thing, me and you, Ryan, when the two friends look on the last game a year on?
Oh, the bowling, we're a year on from the last game at the bowling.
Yeah.
Do you remember that when the light exploded?
It blew up in my face. Fucking hell.
I'll probably say another one that was really good that I enjoyed was saying completely like, well, it weren't different, but it was post-match pint. But probably the 1966 post-match pint when we all dressed up and decorated the studio, and Nicky done to make it look old-fashioned, and you know, it was good the way we done. Nicky had a suit on, he was smoking a snout. Graham turned up like he just come out of a nightclub.
Yeah, that was a little bit different. That was your idea, actually, that one.
That was good. Do you remember me and Scott? Scott, do you remember trying to hang that Union Jack up and it kept falling down?
Yeah, well, that was a really good. We need to do.
Fair, looking back at it now, if people watch that there, they probably think they're watching a Brexit meeting or something. Big fucking Union Jack.
Yeah, I did really enjoy that. That was sort of
yeah, there's loads of videos that I've enjoyed.
It's because
interviews that we've done. I think interviews that we've done are good.
Oh, the John Hartson interview always gets me every time I watch that back.
Yeah, Matty Everton. Yeah, it's been some good. We've been lucky on this channel since we were doing it, especially being West Ham fans. Like, it means more to us when we do things like that. I think you know, being doing the stuff with Arsenal Fan TV at the bowling ground as well was good inside the stadium.
They did like that though.
No, they did like it. We loved it.
Yeah, we got in. I can't remember how we got in.
We emailed them, didn't we? And we asked them, and West Ham at that time, they had some decent people working for the club, and they allowed us to go into the bowling. It was on was it the Thursday night before? Because it was a Saturday lunchtime kickoff, wasn't it? I'm sure it was the Thursday night we went in there, and it was good.
We went in there, and then he came in, and then obviously everybody knows him. He's going, and he's like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, and I just went to the geezer, look, turn a blind eye for 10 minutes, mate. And he walked off.
What's the best prank you've pulled?
Best prank? Oh, I should know this because I love doing pranks.
Scott?
I might have to come back to that one. I think a good one was when I've got a life-size Chucky doll that I've had for years, right? And I remember once that I put it on top of my mum and dad's wardrobe at the top, but tucked it about. But I wrapped cotton string around it, and I threaded it all the way through to sort of my bedroom, so like they didn't step on it. And then when my mum and dad were laying in bed, I pulled it and it flew off the wardrobe and landed right on my dad. And I just heard him fucking scream. Oh, fucking hell. There's so many.
Do you know what, right? I've pulled some pranks in time. One of the most effective pranks I've ever pulled was with my brother in Italy. And that was like, we was at these sinks, right? And we were standing at the sinks. And we was like, after we've both been a toilet, we've gone into this restaurant, and it was sort of this old-fashioned sort of thing. And you know them sinks that look like brass, and all the piping's like exposed and everything else, looked old-fashioned and all that sort of stuff. But the tap was on the floor, so it was a pedal, right, on the floor. So I've come out the toilet first. I'm fucking like waving my hand under the tap, and I looked on the floor just by chance. put my toe on the thing, started washing my hands, right? And I thought, oh fuck it, that's interesting, a pedal, right? So Gary's come out, yeah, and he's doing the same thing. So he's waving his arms underneath the tap to make it thingy. And I went, like, why ain't it going on for you? He's like, I don't know. I was like, look, mine goes on. Put my hands underneath it, put my foot on the pedal. Like, trying to put his out for ages. He was going, I don't know, but my brother gets really upset and angry quick. I don't know, he's waving his hands underneath there. And I was like, try my one. He waved his hands underneath it. Nothing. I've put my hands underneath it. The water's come on, right? I had him going for about fucking 25 minutes, man. He was going, why ain't it working? I was going, look, I'm waving my hands underneath your one. I was pressing his pedal, and he was going for ages and ages and ages.
Nick, tell them that story. Do you remember the time when you was in the shower? Oh, no, I've got this is a good one. I remember when we was in Mexico, Scott, when we all went to Mexico, right? Nicky was one night. He was really winding me up because he was just lazy. Like one night, it was like we've got 10 minutes to go out, and Nicky's laying there. You know how he was laying there in his pants, watching the telly. Oh, yeah. I need to iron the shirt. I need to iron my shorts. So I pretended to put the iron on. I put the plug in, but I didn't put it in. I left it on the side. So I went and laid back down. We was talking. I went up to the ironing board and I picked up the iron. I went, pretend to touch the iron. I went, oh, fucking hell, that's hot. Put it down. He said something to me. I went to him, why don't you shut up? And I threw the iron on him. He fucking screamed. But it was obviously cold, but it's fucking...
Yeah, I fight it. And one time, right, we was in...
the way he rolled.
We was in Fitness First, yeah? And Leightonstone, we used to go to the gym in Fitness First, me, him, and Craig. So we had our workout, gone... have a shower, and I don't know whether you've ever been to Fitness First, but they're individual showers, right? So it's quite posh, like a health club sort of thing, and everything's individual, but they're sort of glass doors. They're not locked or anything; they're just sort of glass frosted doors, right? And I don't know whether I was singing or something like that, but I'm in the shower, I'm washing my hair. I had hair then, a little bit, but I've got all the soap over me, right? And I turned round, and while I've been facing the wall, this cunt, I don't know why. But this cunt has come from his cubicle, right, and snuck into my cubicle, right? So he's behind me. So I'm fucking sitting there washing my hair. I turn around, and you know, you got like the soap in your eyes and that, like. And I turned around, and as I turned around, his face was there, yeah. And I've never, I scream like a woman. I've never screamed so fucking hard in all my life. I just went like, ah, like that. He's laughing.
What about
naked?
Thinking about it now, I mean, this was a stupid one. Thinking about it now, this was a stupid one, but it was another one in Mexico when Nicky was in the shower and you used to have the hairdryer on the wall. I turned the hairdryer on while Nicky was in the shower and threw it in on him.
Yeah.
I could have killed you. We laugh now. You're still here.
That's it. He's still here. He's still here.
Let's scroll back up because I see a few good questions come up.
Best concert you've ever been to? While you're still searching, right?
Best concert.
Yeah, sorry, I'll put the thing up while Ryan's still looking. Sorry. Best concert you've ever been to?
I reckon. Who's the best? I reckon UB40.
I've lost it.
UB40.
You know what? Funny enough, we were talking about this in work the other day, and I think my favourite ever concert. Now, bearing in mind, I was 17, 18 at the time. So
I know. I bet it's Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem 2001 London Arena. Yeah. First UK tour. Honestly, mate, it was the bollocks. And Eminem, it was the first time I said it'd been here in this country. And honestly, it was unreal. Unreal.
Yeah, I think mine's UB40, man. They're always good concerts because I think the vibe of them, because people are a bit older. This is a good one. Go on, Scott.
Mine's got to be Project Revolution, MK Bowl, which was Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park, Jay-Z, Pharrell, or NERD. Who else was there? Pendulum.
I thought that was the name of the band.
No.
Yeah, like a festival sort of.
Yeah,
lineup.
Project Revolution was good. That was good. That was when Lincoln Park done the crossover with Jay-Z.
I liked Lincoln Park. I went to Lincoln Park. That was really good. Best shark film you've seen?
Best shark film. Jaws. Has to be Jaws. You can't beat Jaws, the original.
Sharknado. No, joking. That was shit. Yeah. Probably Jaws, yeah. Not the one with Michael Caine, though.
No, not that one. Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. When the fucking shark's biting the boat and Michael Caine goes, bloody hell. I love Michael Caine, though.
Oh, fucking hell.
What was the was it Deep Blue Sea?
Blue Sea,
that had Samuel L. Jackson in it. I think that's the worst film I've ever seen him in.
What about ignore me. I was going to say, what about sharks on the plane? It was snakes on the plane.
Snakes on the plane.
Imagine that, sharks on the plane.
That would have been a completely different film.
What's the other one? Is it Meg?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Jason
what. My daughter was watching one. What's the one when the I can't think of it now. When the woman's trapped on that little island, she's got to swim. She breaks her leg or something. Someone
will know in the comments.
I can't.
Is that it? That 147 meters below?
No, it's not that one. It's fuck it. She's on that little thing in the middle of the water, isn't she?
Like a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the one?
Shallows, is that it?
Shallows.
I think that's it.
What's the one where the two people get stuck in the water?
Sharky and George.
No,
that's
and they're just floating.
When they went on holiday and they got left by the boat.
Yeah, and they're just there.
Oh, that was the end of Titanic, wasn't it?
No. This part of the film. That was good.
Where's the boat gone?
Open water.
That was good. Scary though. That imagine that really happening.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
I'll tell you another bad.
I'd probably just go under, just accept it.
Yeah. 30 seconds in the water, just go, oh, fuck this.
Fuck this, just put my arms like a boo boo boo.
What was the one? Was it giant?
I think there's
giant
only one
shark versus Saint Octopus.
There's only one answer for this, Nick. Ibiza or Iron Napa.
Napa, mate.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, I've never been Ibiza, but Napa was something that was. Iron
Napa all the way. Hey, the thing is, like Ibiza's for like right hardcore clubbers, and I was never a hardcore clubber. I was more of a casual barman, and
you're one of them ones that just like a little jive in the bar.
Yeah, I just have a little fucker walk in and I have a little fucking like this. But you got them people there that fucking pop a knee and just drink water all night, just fucking. That's not a bit of me. I like to have a little fucking. When I'm going to get a drink, I have a little slide across the dance floor.
Yeah.
Best gangster film you've ever seen?
Film?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
Casino. Yeah, I'd say Goodfellas is one of my favourite films of all time, so I'm going to stick with that.
Goodfellas is favourite American one, but favourite English one was The Long Good Friday. That's a really good film.
Do you know what? I actually like Legend, Tom Hardy, The Craze.
Yeah, that wasn't bad, that one, actually. That wasn't bad. Goodfellas, yeah. Casino. I really like Casino. That was a really good one.
Yeah, Casino. A lot of people say Scarface. Yeah, Scarface was a decent film.
It's got to be Goodfellas, though. Goodfellas is just such an
Snatch.
easy watch.
Someone said Snatch there. That's a brilliant film.
I like, Snatch is good.
When people say to me Lock, Stock or Snatch, I can't choose between them because I love them just as both. I think they're both brilliant films.
Yeah, right. There's one from Ryan here. Where is it? Best Marvel movie.
It's Batman's Marvel, isn't it?
No, he's DC.
Oh. Who's Marvel then? Name me some names.
Captain America, Thor, Iron Man,
Spider-Man,
Captain Marvel. Who else? The Hulk.
I like the original Hulk, the 80s Hulk. I just don't watch. I just don't watch.
Yeah, I know.
I suppose I'm more of a DC man then.
I've been to see the 2 Avengers with my boy in the pictures. It's got to be one of them because they're the only 2 I've seen. I think I never really had any interest in watching 26 fucking films, to be quite honest with you.
I'm the only sad geek out of all of it. I know Dan's seen them all. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen every single one.
Best trigger comment for an Only Fools.
Oh, fucking hell.
Has to be the broom.
Oh, fucking hell, there's so many. I'm trying to think. Yeah, obviously the broom is. I like. You know what one makes me laugh? I know it's probably not one of his greatest, but you know when when Rodney's trying to reverse the van, and it takes him ages, he parks it up, and he goes, "You can't park that there, Dave." But
thing is, like that, Roger Lloyd Pack was a fucking genius with that character, man. He was a genius with him, and to be honest with you, there's so many classics of it. I think he was the funniest character in the whole of Fools and Horses, right?
Do you know what? He never smiled once.
I know. Right?
How he kept a straight face as well, like within that show is mental.
Right. I think the funniest thing, the thing that made me laugh the most, right? And it weren't even a quote; it was just a word. Yeah. It makes me laugh now because it must have been. I think it was the specials, you know, in '96 when they was finishing it up, like before they brought them back. So it must have been about 95, 96. And it's the bit where they're toasting Cassandra and Rodney in the pub. And someone goes, Cassandra and Rodney. And you could hear the old pub go, Cassandra and Rodney. And just in the background, you said, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. I think another classic one as well. You know, the Batman and Robin one. When he goes to Rodney, I don't think you 2 have won. You're all right, but Dell don't look nothing like Tonto.
Oh,
you know what? It's just one of them programs that you can watch over and over again, and you've probably seen every single episode, but nothing will ever beat that. Nothing will ever beat Only Fools and Horses.
No, you are right, mate. You said you could still sit there and watch that now and still find it as funny as the day you first watched it.
You know what? Like a lot of people saying about Batman. Do you know the funny thing? And this is how good of a writer John Sullivan was. That Batman and Robin, you know, he should have had Rodney as Batman and Delboy as Rodney. Delboy as Robin because of their heights. But he had Delboy, you know, as a smaller Batman. And that was just John Sullivan. He was just so good at writing and his comedy. He was a comedy genius. And it's a shame we lost him so soon.
Yeah, they were some real classic episodes. Yeah. Chandeliers was a good one. But I think my favourite one ever was the Blow Up Dolls. And, you know, the bit that always gets me is when he goes, good evening, Della Rodney. He goes, good evening. He goes, good evening, ladies. He goes, good evening. And
that's my favourite. But you know what? One of my favourite scenes, and I posted it on Twitter the other week, was when Uncle Albert, when he has to pretend to be shocked. He goes, yeah. And you can see David Jason's face trying not to laugh. And the mad thing about Uncle Albert is that was his first ever acting role. He never done acting before that. And it's crazy. It was such a funny. I could watch him over and over again. I never get bored of Only Fools and Horses.
The amount of time I walk in this house and the missus has got it on, she absolutely loves them.
I'm getting tired now, boys. I'm gonna have to shoot in a minute.
Another 5 minutes and we'll call it a night. Yeah. This is a hangover or in betweeners. They're two totally different things, aren't they? Really? I love Hangover. It's one of my favorite films, but In Betweeners it's another British classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to choose, isn't it? Because, like you said, they are a bit too different. So I'm going the Hangover. I love the In-Betweeners, but I'm going the Hangover.
I've got to go In Betweeners. Just
really good.
The Hangover was, honestly, it's one. When I first see that in the cinema, it was so good I went to see it twice. It was so funny. I still love it
great.
now. It's just that I remember sitting there, and when you first watch it, you know the bit where they wake up in the morning, and you think, oh, for fuck's sake, I've missed what happened during the night now. But it's such a clever film how I think it was actually better that they done it that way.
Are they? Go on, sorry, Nick. Go on.
Sorry, mate. I'm an Everton fan. My daddy's friends with Paul Barber Denzel. Went to his birthday party about 10 years ago, and the whole cast of Fools and Horses were there. I was starstruck. Yeah, I would be, mate. Imagine that. I wouldn't want to leave.
He's another, obviously, great comedy actor. Especially, he was in the Full Monty as well, wasn't he? But the main thing is about him, his wife, Corinne, in Only Fools and Horses. That was the only episode she was ever in, was the one in the flat, because she died in real life. But they never writ her out of it. John Sullivan never writ out of it, but you never ever see her again. That was the only episode she ever done. That's another interesting fact for you, Scott.
See, you're firing them out tonight, mate.
What? Was that the same geezer?
That must have been a right random party.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. I'd have definitely.
Apparently, Ric Flair's meant to be a bit of a boy. Like they said, like in the 80s and things, like that geezer used to spend like $1,000 a night on drink.
Yeah, you can tell. You can look at him and tell him he's had a good life.
Right, should we call it a day there unless anyone's got anything else?
Yeah, no, I think that's it, mate. I think that's it.
Scott?
Yeah, no, that's it. Sorry, mate. Yeah, no. All good. It's nice to end it on a light-hearted note as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You could do the outro tonight, Scott.
I can't remember the outro.
You just make it up as you go. There ain't no set formula. You make it up as you go along.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening to post Friday Night Pint. Go and check our Patreon in the link in the description down below. Go and check out our t-shirts as well. Well, some of us are wearing them. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you so much for getting involved. Obviously, we'll be back next week as the content starts to build back up for the Premier League to return. We're not paying 15 fucking quid. Yeah.
After this, they'll probably put it up to 20 quid now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. As I said, thank you so much for getting involved in the comments. It really makes our Friday nights, and I hope you're enjoying this bits of content as well. Go and check out all our other content. If you're new around here, subscribe, hit the like notification, share everything. Go and follow us on Twitter at West Ham Fan TV, facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV, and all the social media stuff that we don't use. Once again, thank you very much. One thing I have to say, boys.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.